So, you want to play TF2, huh? Well, fear not, fellow viewer. I'm going to teach you in this video how to play TF2. And it will be all together in a very neat and organized manual. And I'll teach you how to play the game, how to get the game, how to play the characters, and how. So we'll start off on how to play the game. Alright, so this is how you're gonna have to play the game. The first thing you want to do is get yourself at least a computer. Doesn't matter, a computer, a PC, a laptop, whatever. And you gotta make sure it's working. So it's a lot like a car that can travel from point A to point B, which if that's the mindset you're looking at, it's the same. It's sort of the same thing with TF2. You at least want a gaming PC that can at least run the game. And the next steps you gotta do are pretty simple. All you gotta do is just install Steam. Make sure you have an account for Steam so you can play TF2, because that's where TF2 is at on Steam. And then you gotta go to Steam, find TF2, search it up, add it to library, then install it. This part might take a little while depending on what type of computer you have. It can either be really fast or it can be really short. Either way, the game just needs to load in so that it can be on your computer. And after that, you'll be able to play the game. Then you can just press play and then you play the game. And that's pretty much how you get to play TF2. So now we're just going to move on to the next segment, which will just be how to play the characters. Now, when it comes to the Scout is the one character out of the 9 official playable characters that we're talking about that is the fast by default. So when it comes to the Skunt, maneuverability is very important because you are the fastest, Skunt in this game. When it comes to the play options, you have multiple options, and they usually stem down from 3 for all 9 classes. There's the fastest, there's the medium fastest, and then there's the slowest fastest. So when it comes to the Skunt over here, we'll talk about the 3 ones. We'll go from high to low. So when it comes to the highest, you're basically the flanker, the wanker. When it comes to Scant, you are the flanker, the wanker, when you are playing the fastest because you want to play the fastest. So all you're doing is you're basically mostly doing it a solo mission, but you can help your teammates whenever you want. But you're usually maybe sneaking around the place, looking for stuff, looking at books, looking at whatever, just looking around. And when it comes to, seeing your enemy teammates, you're usually being the sneaky weirdo who's always being fast, or you can not be sneaky and just be right in front of them. But it usually depends on how much of a pro you are, which I'm assuming you are because you're watching this video. The medium pace of the Scant is medium pace, so this is mostly the objective play, because since it's medium, it's like you have to take it a bit slower than if you were to go fast and you're being super competitive and attacking, the opposing team of whatever objective you have in the game. You're basically just doing the objective and then only getting rid of, enemy players that are in your way of completing your objective for whatever you're playing in TF2. You're basically, you're just going around, being careful and playing it, pretty much casually. Now, the slowest play of the game, you're being the sneaky Scout. The sneaky Scout is very, 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 very sneaky. This play is always the sneakiest when you're the slowest, and you're probably the smartest, strongest, and most powerful player in the freaking game lobby that you're in. You're sneaking around. You're always crouched, never standing, never in the spotlight. You're out here sneaking around the place. You're sneaking into secret corners, and you're pulling off crazy exploitations that nobody can catch you because you're the sneakiest. You're the slowest, only because you're crouching, and it's all freaking insane, And when it comes to the weapons, you can always mix and match them. That's why I don't really have a category. When it comes to the weapons, you use them to your advantage, and you sort of figure out what you need to, play the game. And when it comes to scant over here, you have pushing weapons. You have weapons that can make you jump. You have weapons that can knock back players, the pushing. And you have weapons that can give you some, power-ups. And then, all you can do with those is just mix and match them. There's combos and there's non-combos. There's combos with cosmetics and there's non-combos with cosmetics. But usually, it's always good to, play freeform. It usually goes the same principle with all the other 9 classes. But the most important part of the Scout is you gotta be a dickhead to everyone. And then you'll beat the game or either get banned and reported or something. You might want to be careful, bring a knife just in case. Now, when it comes to the soldier of Team Fortress 2, you are the one of the 3 big players on this game, and you're definitely the one of the biggest firepowers of the game. You're a bit slow, but not too slow. And one of the main keys to the soldier is being a soldier. Oh, I gotta cut that out. Not even at the pyro section. So, the fast gameplay of the soldier is basically attacking like a freaking wave from the ocean. Because since you are the rocket man, you use these rockets with the rocket launcher you have to use to your advantage to attack your enemy players. And you can also use it to rocket jump. Now, one occasion you might not be able to be the attacking force with the rocket launcher you have, because if you have the rocket jumper for the soldier, you're basically the fast player, but you're gonna attack him from the skies. You're basically the freaking giant enemy bird or the giant enemy eagle who's gonna be sweeping through the entire map, just attacking enemy players. And that's basically like one of the fast ways to do it. The other fast way would just be, just attacking people from the ground, just doing soldier style. It's the most Call of Duty you can get with with rocket launchers and stuff. Now, the medium play will usually just come down to doing the objective as per usual, but you can mix and match with the shotgun gameplay, with melee gameplay, and with a little bit of rocket gameplay. But yeah, it's usually just assist. This comes down to, assisting your teammates and just helping out with, your abilities to shoot rockets and throw grenades and stuff, Actually, I don't think you can throw grenades in this game. With your hand. And then the slowest gameplay comes down to usually sneaking around or just being really behind and basically watching your back and your team's back just in case if anyone tries to sneak behind and stop your teammates from doing the objective. You're basically just not being in the front lines. It's not really a boring whenever you have, stuff to do. Like, you can play with grenades and you can play with some more grenades if you get bored and whatnot. Now, when it comes to Pyro, the key to playing the game as a Pyro is usually to inflate. Inflation. Inflatation. Inflating. Inflation is your friend when you're playing the Pyro. Fast gameplays, you're basically just zooming around the place, burning people alive. You're basically, if you're an arsonist, if you're an actual serial arsonist, playing Pyro is probably your best choice, because you're basically just burning people alive. It's like nothing really changes when it comes to the fast gameplay. The slower gameplay, you're basically also doing the objective, but you're basically just helping your team out, especially like with engineers or with people getting burnt by other pyros. Like, you can take them out with your air blast from your inflated flamethrower. And then the slow gameplay is definitely just sneaking around and another beam behind the enemy lines, just like the soldier, because you're basically not wanting to do the MW1 pyro. But yeah, the weapons you can alternate, but when it comes to the preferred method to playing the Pyro, just know that you have to be inflated. The Demo Man is the alcoholic of the 9 classes, but this has nothing to do with the gameplay. You don't need to become alcoholism. What you have to do is you have to be basically, it's a lot like playing a game called CSGO or Counter-Strike. And it's basically you have to plant a bunch of bombs, or you have to use bombs to, bomb the enemy players. When it comes to the fast gameplay, that's all you're doing. All you're doing is you're bombing all the enemy players. You're going crazy. You're throwing grenades here and there, but with the grenade launcher, so that proves that you're not actually throwing grenades unless you're using an escape plan. But it is what it is. The slower gameplay, you'll basically just be helping the team, complete the objective, and you're just throwing grenades left and right, using a lot of sticky grenades. You're just drinking alcohol in the front lines. And then the slow gameplays, you're basically just watching behind you, just in case there's an enemy player or some weird freakish monster from the under depths of the underworld coming out, and you have to defend everyone and the server from this freakish, unnatural piece of monster machinery to attack and ruin the server, I guess. TF2 Heavy is the icon of TF2, the most famous TF2 thing that ever has to do with TF2. Usually stereotyped as a dumb Russian and also a fat guy, when in reality this dude's just he's pretty intelligent and very muscular, very in shape, peak physical human being nature of a man, to play as. He is the slowest class, but outputs a lot of damage because you got miniguns. This guy's he likes his minigun a lot. He sleeps with the minigun a lot. That's basically how you play the game. All you have to do is sleep with real life firearms. That's basically how you get good at heavy, because you're always slow all the time. So it's like the slowest fastest, you're basically just going up to enemies and killing them. The medium fastest, you're going as medium fastest to kill the enemies, and the slowest fastest, you're probably sneaking around, getting ready to punch the enemies from behind. Pause. The engineer is engiqueer. Alright, I'm done. This is the builder type. You ever play games and you always have that builder type? That's basically what engineer is. It's the builder type. So fast gameplays, you're building buildings all over the buildings of the place and buildings. The second gameplay, you're building your buildings on your competitive objective of the game. In the slow pace, you're basically just building for teleports. All you're doing is just teleporting people to random places, very, very secure places, all across the places you play. Yeah, it's a very interesting gameplay, The best part about being an engineer is you get to play the banjo and drink beer. That's pretty much the best parts, because all the parts are actually really good parts. Now medic is the medic, the medic, the medic of the medic. You're healing all your players, like fast gameplay. You heal them all. It usually comes down to healing. When it comes to healing, it's very important to heal everyone. Even heal the enemy. You know what? How about you heal the enemy team players? I think that works in your favor. I've definitely done it in my past gameplays. The slower, more medium plays is assist. You're basically assisting. That's what you do. Because unlike the fast gameplay where you get to attack players and act like you're the crazy psycho person to attack people with a freaking rusty saw or whatever, you get to help your friends and not be psychotic. And then slower games, I don't know what you do. You probably cut into dead corpses before they disappear. You freaking psycho. The sniper is the one class that's usually that usually delves in with urine. Urine. You know about urine. You like urine because you're gonna like the sniper. You live in bushes, you freaking camp in bushes, you can camp, but in faster gameplays, you can't camp, you gotta move around. This is the best way to play sniper because if you move around a lot and don't stay in one position all the time, you'll be able to not die in the game and, you know, make the enemy team players mad at you for cheating if you're doing really good, and then get reported, and then, you know, that's when it gets bad. But hey, at least you get to, you know, urinate in jars and whatnot. Medium gameplays, you're assisting, you know, helping the team. You can still play it like you're playing fast mode, and, you know, just draw out more urine from yourself. You know, it's good. And then slow gameplays, all you have to do is just draw so much urine. You gotta keep drawing out urine. You know, just drink a lot of coffee, pull out piss, drink painkillers, take painkillers. You gotta snort some painkillers. The Spy. The Spy is one of the classes with the classes, and it's the classes of the class. You know how it goes. The classes of the class. It's kind of one of the weakest classes of all time, because there is a mode where you can play at the lowest health, which makes it the weakest out of all 9 classes, but it also makes the most high rewarding, high risk factors classes of TF2. And it usually comes down to the fact that you are the sneaky. Sneaking is the best thing to do as a spy. And it is really easy, you know. It's actually really easy to freaking sneak around the place, you know, when there's no bots, and there's no pro players that have really good RNG. The fastest gameplay, you're basically just attacking the enemies like a shark, you know. You're sneaking behind, you're invisible, you're using the map to your advantage and going to places that nobody else is going, and you're going around behind the enemy players and just trying to attack them. Very scary, very spooky. You decrease that by the medium side. You're basically just doing the objective and or helping your teammates do the objective, because you know they're not doing anything. The slowest gameplay, you're basically hiding in a box. You're hiding in a box until enemy player is distracted. You get out of the box, you stab the player, and then you go back right back into the box to sneak around some more. So now that I've I've teached you. So now that you know how to play all 9 classes from a slow pace, fast pace, medium pace, we're gonna give you the true big tips of playing this game. The secret to playing this game is to play the freaking guitar. That's the ultimate way to play the freaking game. There's no other way. There's no other how. There's no other type of commands you need to play this game. The one thing you need that is essential is one secret little taunt. If you said Schadenfreude before I revealed the secret taunt, it's not it. Or nobody's gonna get shamed. This taunt is pretty hilarious, but it's not the secret to making the game turn you into a pro. The real taunt is, drumroll, the shred alert. Now this taunt is very important to get, especially if you want to go into the big leagues and become a pro. The shred alert is one of the craziest taunts in TF2 history, and also one of the greatest taunts in TF2 history. Why? Because it's so absurd. And it was here before the more absurd parts of TF2 came along. Mainly cosmetics that delve outside the realm of the game based on like lore. So instead of like having 1960s aesthetic style lore or lore cosmetics and stuff that relates to the characters and the time of place that they're in, they'll have like other things like freaking spacesuits, and now you could turn into a freaking animal and whatnot. So the shred alert is very important because you play this taunt and then you get really good at the game. So I'm telling you right now, here's some instructions. If you're not, even if you're not a pro, this freaking exploit works. I'm telling you right now, the shred alert exploit will work if you're trying to become pro at TF2 or just trying to assert your proness at TF2 because you are a pro. What you do is you join a game. Once you're in the game, pick a class. I'll go by random by example. Once I've picked that class, Before I leave the spawn, I go in, I taunt, press the shred alert taunt, I do the taunt, then I go out, I play the game, and then I am the freaking master. And that's how you freaking become good at TF2. That's the secret pro tip. And after you've played the taunt, like, it doesn't matter how many times you play, even after doing it, that one time I've told you to do the specific ritual to it, you'll be very good at it no matter what gameplays you play. And heck, this can even apply to outside TF2. Whatever games you're playing, you'll become really good at the games that you are playing that are not TF2. And with that being said, that's basically it. That's how you play TF2. That's the very helpful and instructional. This is the very helpful manual to playing TF2 and secretly, playing other games. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully, or most importantly, hopefully you've gained some skill. And hey, let me know how your experience was doing the ritual, and let me know how your experience was playing the game. Just in case, feedback is always needed for these tutorials, because that's how tutorials work, right? You need feedback. But that's basically the end of the video. If you're still around, I got some new video ideas coming up. Horror games and other genius videos are coming along, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'm going to end this video off. I'm spinning on my chair. Check this out. You can spin on a chair and it looks pretty cool. Look at me, I'm spinning in a chair. Whoa! Watch me. That's how watch me spin this chair. Whoa! I'm spinning in a chair. Whoa! Nice. Oh, don't want to get too dizzy now. Now I gotta go the other way to anti-dizzy the dizziness. Whoa! I'm spinning in a chair. Whoa! Nice. Spinning in a chair. Genius. And whoa! Holy crap.
18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big herd throbbing.